What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Chosen Con. And today we got Mr. Calvin, a.k.a. Kalvonix, in the building. So today, you can go ahead. You can say hello to everybody.
Oh, what's up? Yo, it's your boy Kalvonix, you know what I'm saying? Best rapper alive. Don't tell Kanye, like I said. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Wait, you didn't do that the whole podcast yet. Or you did at the beginning. We never talked about why the Kanye thing. Like, why best rapper alive? I want to hear this quickly.
Oh, okay. Well, no, it's just, it's just a little shot.
But you love Kanye.
I love Kanye, but also Kanye loves himself more than I love Kanye.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I'm just saying that, like, I got the confidence in me like Kanye does. Kanye has, like, intense confidence, and I just...
That makes a lot of sense. You believe in yourself, man.
I do, yeah.
Kanye actually, quickly, before we even dive into what we talked about on the podcast... But I remember Kanye was saying something about he was that creative kid in elementary school, just like how you were saying.
Yeah.
And he would always get bullied. He'd be that guy all the way back.
Yeah. Of course.
And people would think he was weird. And that actually goes into our first thing. Like, what was elementary school like for you, man?
Yeah. Oh, elementary school was a shit show.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it wasn't a great time.
Like, what happened? I remember you were quickly talking.
Yeah, I was bullied. I was kicked down on the gravel, whipped with skipping ropes, told that my parents don't love me because of my disability. And it was just a time where I would come home and literally debate as to, like, is it even worth living if I have a disability?
Well,
I don't want it.
But your parents did love you.
They did.
So when you went home, you'd go home to what?
I would go home crying, being like, Mom, I hate this disability. I don't want it. I wish I had something else, and I wish I was normal. My mom would be like, Calvin, you have this disability for a reason, and I feel like one day you're going to use it. And I remember thinking that that's such a mom thing to say.
Yeah.
So I was like, obviously my mom's going to say that. That's like, so I didn't really believe her. I didn't know what she meant. I didn't understand it. Luckily, though, I could come home every day and feel love.
Yeah,
and I think that's really what kept me going.
Well, what was the first song you ever sang, man? And how old were you?
I was 2 years old.
Yeah.
I sang I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
So that
was my first, that was the first jam.
So
of all time, yeah.
In the podcast, we dive into how Calvin went from Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You.
Yep.
First of all, actually, before that, Calvin should not be alive, right?
No,
how like when you were born, what happened?
I was born 2 pounds 2 ounces, so I was this big. I could fit into the palm of my mom's hand. I was purple. I was see-through. I couldn't eat through my mouth. I had to eat through a tube. And I was told, the doctors told my parents that I was going to die. There's no way I was going to live. And I'm here today. So
you're chilling. He's alive.
I'm chilling, yeah.
Okay. So from there, we talked about how that happened. Yeah. And then you went through elementary school. And you actually, something that I really loved was you told me a little incident with those 2 girls in elementary school. You want to talk about that quickly?
I'm totally blanking. Who?
The 2 girls. So the 2 girls that basically you.
Yeah. Okay. So literally, I was like chilling on the bench by myself every day at recess, looking all alone and sad and stuff. And there was 2 girls who really took a liking to me. They came up to me one day and was like, Calvin, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And they just asked me how I was doing. And I think I already just felt comfortable around them because they were the first people to ask me how I was doing.
And they cared.
So I poured my life out. I was like, oh, like my life sucks. I hate it. And I started to vent to them. They ended up saying like, oh, I feel for you. I'm sorry you have to go through that. And then they started venting to me. And we started like mini counseling each other at 10 years old.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's what I love. You're having conversations at 10 years old.
You're having conversations, yeah.
And then you go to high school, and then Calvin, you dropped your first album. What was it called?
It was called Off the Chain.
Yeah. And then so you dropped Off the Chain. How many people bought the album at that time?
Oh, man, 3, man. One to my mom, 1 to my dad, and 1 to a teacher who pitied me.
Yeah.
It was great.
Hey, that's still 3 people.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 people, yeah.
And then what was really cool, too, was like when we talk about how Calvin, like, how he was evolving. And the cool part was that basically how did you start recording music first?
So I started recording on an 80s boombox.
Yeah.
So it was like, there was a cassette tape, you pressed play and you would record and it's crappy quality.
Yeah.
But literally that's how I recorded. And then I'd use like a dollar store PC microphone and record it using Windows Movie Maker, like put it to the boombox, record it, and then put it on a CD and then give it to people.
And that's how he first started. But then, like, as you evolved, like, as we were listening to your story, as you evolved, then your music evolved too.
Exactly.
And then one cool thing was you were telling me about your cousin, the girl cousin, Massey.
Yep.
And tell me a little bit about Massey, what she was like in high school and at home.
Okay, well, Massey was, so her name is Shalisa, but Massey was her rap name.
Yeah.
Basically, she was a popular kid, so very opposite of me. She was, like, one of the most popular kids in school. So she would go along with the bullies because it's cool to bully Calvin. So she would bully me at school. and then we would go home and record tracks together. And I think I kind of just accepted it. I was like, yo, you're popular. I get it. You got to do what you got to do. We never spoke about it, but that's literally how it happened.
She'd make fun of you, and then you'd roll up in the studio together.
Yeah.
Yo, Massey, all right. She's like, Kalvonix,
get on the track. Yeah.
So
exactly.
we talked about that. We talked about how you started doing the thing with Ricky, right? What was it called?
Frontier Poetics.
You want to talk about Frontier Poetics a little bit?
So, yeah, it's a hip-hop outreach program. We still do it. Privately, we go every month to a different high school, and we talk to students about hip-hop, our story, and how being creative can change your life.
And the last thing, so give you incentive to listen to the podcast, is my man over here. He's a big Eminem fan, and he actually got a beat from Eminem's producer.
Oh yeah.
But you got to see how it all came to be. It has to do with the 2010 Olympics.
2010 Olympics.
It has to do with 12,000 people. It has to do with Kalvonix. And then what was the group called?
Oh, the Kalvonix virus.
The Kalvonix virus. It's all there. You're gonna hear about it. You're gonna see its progression.
Yeah, man.
And then what's the last thing? Anything like what would be the last thing you'd say to the people that are watching right now? Because you talked a little bit about like your advice for kids.
Honestly, it's just So my hat says "I'm me, be you." Check it out. It's an album. It's on YouTube. Just type it in. Fire. Yeah. Anyways, I would just say, don't be afraid to be yourself, but also embrace all of the selves that you have been. So I've literally gone through so many phases in my life. I had a Ricky Martin phase where I had blonde hair, tight black shirts, leather pants, but that was me, man.
Yeah.
And as long as it's like true to you and you're comfortable with that, then people are gonna really feel that genuineness, and that's what we need in the world.
Yo, I love it, Calvin.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, then, everybody, thank you for tuning in. You can connect with Kalvonix. We're going to have all his links lower. But, dude, I think y'all need to talk to this guy.
Talk to me, man.
Yeah, you said some deep things today. And I think a lot of kids in Surrey especially need to see that there's someone like you that's here.
Yeah.
Right? That was from Surrey Memorial Hospital. But also went through all those stages. And you're keeping it real. So thank you, my man.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. A pleasure. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for watching our videos. Your support really means a lot to us. Check out our podcast and honestly check out the other conversations we've been having as well.